Hi everyone, my name is Chin-Carty, but most of you know me as Dee. I'm the current Chief of Staff to the Student Association President, Lanji Kadeska. But this year, I will be running for Student Association President myself. When I first came to the university, my involvement here began within the campus recreation and the administration department. Since then, my involvement has grown from being a residential assistant to being a campus recreation manager and to being on multiple different advisory boards, and I was a former senator. When I was asked why I wanted to run for president, my answer was simple. I care. Which is why this year, both myself and Ariel and our administration will be running on the concepts of time.
I chose to run for Student Association Vice President because I feel like I can be that leader in order to, lead the students into the right path who haven't been guided into the right path so far. There are many students, in the university who aren't exposed to the opportunities that are here for them, and I feel like there needs to be a change for that. Student organizations have always had trouble in terms of communication with student association. I feel like there has been a lack of trust within student organizations and SA in the past, where the relationships have gotten better. There's always room for improvement, and there's always room, for students to show that their voice counts and their voice matters, within this university. We come here for an education, but it's all about that college experience, and this only happens once in a lifetime for most students. So why not make it worthwhile?
It's time to include the students. So it move towards transparency, integration, innovation, motivation and movement, and excellence. Whilst the transparency piece is important and it's something we all talk about, we do so because we recognise how pivotal it is to making sure this organisation is a success. Different areas on campus, from athletics to the different clubs to arts and theatre. The integrity piece and the innovation piece comes from our desire to make sure that what we do is we are holding ourselves to a standard of accountability. The innovation piece means that we will be doing different programs to make sure that things are different and new and exciting for all of you, whether you've been here for 1 year or this will be your 4th year. The movement piece means that we're going to be making sure that we are making a movement towards the future, which means building on leaders for today and tomorrow, making sure that student organisations are preparing their current members to lead when they leave. And the mobility piece means we won't be just accessible in the Student Association office, but we will now be making sure that we will have different office hours located in different areas on campus, on Dutch Quad, Indian Quad, State Quad and Colonial, and on the apartments, and in the libraries and other areas where we believe that we will be able to reach you students and you can reach out to us. The excellent piece is simple. Everything that we will be doing, we'll be doing to make sure that we excel for you and for ourselves, and to make sure the Student Association is standing in the future and preparing for everyone else who will be our successors.
We want to run for office because we want student voices to be heard and ideas to be implemented.
We chose to run for office because the Student Association is the best kept secret to create impactful change here on campus.
We're running for office because we want more students to be involved on campus.
We're running for office because we want to break the barrier between students and student association.
We chose to run for office to make the processes for student groups on campus easier and to show students what student government can actually do for them.
We're running for student office because we plan to work towards inclusion and representation of all students.
We chose to run for office to encourage student involvement and preserve the legacy of our orgs.
We're running for student government because the students come first and they shouldn't be treated as anything but a priority.
We chose to run for office to make student life more engaging, more inclusive, and be the vessel between students and staff.
We chose to run to bridge the gap between our communities and to have transparency between the Student Association and our student body.
We chose to run to address all the issues and concerns of the student body.
We chose to run for office because we believe that every student should have a proper platform for their voices to be heard.
We chose to run to help students vocalize their ideas.
We chose to run for office because transfer students are a priority. As a transfer student myself, I know that inclusivity matters.
We chose to run for office to be the change students want to see.
We chose to run for office because change begins with us.
We chose to run for student office because as a current senator, we recognize the impact that we can have on students' lives, whether they're part of an org or not. Advocacy is important, and it's time.
No more divide, more inclusivity. It's time.
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 It's time, guys. Make sure you vote.